Hello, my name is Monica Fuston. My persuasive speech today is about today's teachers. We send our children to school every day to get an education in hopes that one day they will grow up and make a life for themselves from the education that they have received. However, through those school years, you will find that your child will have teachers that truly have a compassion for teaching your child, and maybe a few that don't quite meet your expectations. After working in the school system, in the classroom on a daily basis, I would like for people to realize that we need to find a better way of evaluating our teachers today. There are a good bit of teachers out there that will go the extra mile to ensure that your child is grasping the concepts that they need to succeed. But unfortunately, there are a few that do not do that. I am unsure of how many of you have heard of the No Child Left Behind Act. It is a bill that President George W. Bush signed into law on January the 8th, 2002. It is a federal legislation that helps us to provide education reform and uses standardized based testing to prove its results. This bill was made to help ensure that the following things are occurring for our children: that we have highly qualified teachers teaching our youth today, that all students are achieving or doing better in academic standards such as reading and math, that all students are being educated in schools and classrooms that are safe, drug-free, and conducive to learning, that all students will graduate high school, and so that limited English proficient students become more proficient in English. Those are just the general basics for this bill. This bill has helped a great deal. However, there are still some teachers out there that are doing the least they can to get by. I'm not sure about you, but that is not what I want for my child. To me, and from what I have learned in life, knowledge is power. Education can take you places that you've never dreamed of being able to go to. As an example, I have worked in a classroom as an aide for 6 years now. While working with one teacher in kindergarten, she expected her students to know concepts that she had not introduced to them and would get upset with them when testing time came and they did not know them. Throughout each grade, there are state curriculums that teachers are required to teach their students throughout that school year. This is then broken down into semesters or quarters. I have provided you with a sample report card showing you this. This is a sample of a kindergarten report card. It's based on quarters, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4, and it goes over all of the different skills that your kindergartners are expected to know. These are not all done in one quarter. As to fine motor skills, cutting on lines, studying skills, following directions, recognizing coins, telling time to the hour, knowing and recognizing upper and lowercase letters, and so forth. Some of these teachers are not taking the time to ensure that your child is getting the skills that they need to succeed. Another example from that same kindergarten class is those students would go weeks at a time without reading a story or having one read to them by anyone. That is something that needs to be instilled in our children at a young age so that they can get a love for reading. As a parent, it is of great help to assist your child with homework or skills that they may be struggling with. What I am getting at here is that we need to find a better way to evaluate our teachers. You have heard the examples from what I have seen. Just imagine what else our children are missing out on. Now again, I am not saying it's all of our teachers today, but there is a few at fault for not properly taking the time to teach our children. It bothers me to see our children in this position because they are the ones suffering. But then later on down the road, our society is going to suffer as well because we as citizens have allowed our school systems to do this. At some point, the Obama administration plans to revise the No Child Left Behind Act. So what I am asking of you today is to please write to your local senator, congressman, or women and try to help our children by ensuring their educators are doing the best that they can to meet their students' needs. There's a lot of people who don't agree with the government being involved in the education procedures. However, if we don't do something, it's going to fail our children. I look at it this way. If I was employed as a cook and I only had prepared half of the food order and did so on a continuous basis, I would be fired eventually, correct? So if we all stand together on this, we can give our children a brighter tomorrow with a wonderful world full of opportunities. So again, write to your local senators, Congress, whomever, and tell your friends, family, and anyone else you know and ask them to write and help make a stand for our children.